kidding me? Oh, it's a baby. So this is Steve, and what you're looking at right now is the new episode of Classified Captures. So do me a favor, stay till the end. Okay, so now we're looking at a guy that sees something come down from the space, the sky, the whatever you want to call it, lands on the ground and he walks to it, and it's like a, I don't know, an orb or circular object of some sort. Let's take a look.
It's going down. Hold on. Dude, do you hear that? I think I gotta cut the live, dude. I'm not joking. Hold on.
His acting could be better. The fact that something supposedly came down from space through our atmosphere and hit the ground and made no indentation of any sort whatsoever. And is that size? I personally think that this is fake. Plus, the guy's acting ain't that good.
Tell my mom where we are. Dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Where are the holes? Around the back. The holes around the back.
I thought that was hot.
So you could take it to your bowling alley next and...
That's fucking freezing, bro.
Get the greatest strike ever.
That's a solid fucking rock. Fucking metal fucking thing.
He's hitting it with a stick. He's hitting it with a stick. Oh, no, there's this weird, like, computer chip in it. Oh man, I'm
That's
wrong.
Like scratched in there. That's weird. Literally warm.
I'm sorry, but this is just, I've seen bowling balls that look like this. People design this stuff. Yeah, that was as fake as it gets. And off.
Dude, do you hear that? I think I gotta cut the live, dude. I'm not joking. That's fucking freezing, bro. That's a solid fucking rock, fucking metal fucking thing.
Okay. Now, when was the last time you had a really good cup of tea? Because when you watch this video, you're gonna want to have one. Now you see that big saucer with a huge cup. Now the Japanese have done some crazy shit in their time, but I'm telling you, man, that's either like a very, very cleverly designed thing on the window, or it's a cup and saucer. Either you're gonna have the greatest cup of coffee in the world, or you're gonna be in a situation where you're gonna go to Yorkshire in England and make sure you have a great cup of Yorkshire tea, you know. There are a lot of things surfacing after the release of the Epstein files, and some of them are the kind you would never expect to see, and this clip is one of them. In the footage, Jeffrey Epstein is on camera, and the shot is unusually close to his face. It appears he is inside his home, but the focus quickly shifts away from him. It's what stands behind him that draws attention. In the doorway, there's a figure, silent, still watching. Unlike most of the strange clips circulating online, this one feels different. The outline of the figure doesn't look clearly human. The head appears larger than it should be, the neck looks thin, the body has a humanoid shape, but the proportions feel wrong. When the footage is slowed down, the shape becomes harder to dismiss. Whatever is standing there does not look like a normal person. The description closely matches what many refer to as a gray alien. The large head, the narrow frame, the faint gray tone of the skin, though the lighting makes it difficult to be completely certain. For years, there have been theories that powerful elites may have access to hidden knowledge, advanced technology, or even non-human entities. Epstein had deep connections and influence in powerful circles, so when a clip like this resurfaces, well, it feeds directly into that belief. Some people say that if anyone were to be connected to something beyond human understanding, it wouldn't be surprising. But when you watch it closely frame by frame, one question refuses to go away. Are you looking at a person standing in the shadows, or something that was never supposed to be seen at all? Now, how many of you guys believe in merfolk, mermaids, merman? Poseidon with his big frickin' fork thing. Yeah, me neither. But, we gotta watch something here, so bear with me, alright? Oh, amazing. I don't like it when you see the typical 16.9 or the whatever, and it's all faded and grainy and stuff. Now this isn't, but I gotta say it looks fake. It's pretty fake. We never see mermaids, unless they're in a situation where they decide that they're going to come to us, if they're even real. And yet this guy can just stand there and go, yeah, I'm filming these guys. Nah. AI as it gets. And we're getting to a situation right now where everything we watch could be AI. I could be AI. Now, here's a question for you. Did Jeffrey Epstein create Bitcoin? I know it sounds impossible at first, but as more information continues to surface from those files, new claims are being dragged into the light, and one of the most shocking is the suggestion that Epstein may have been connected to the creation of Bitcoin itself. In one of the documents, there's a claim that 70% of the original Bitcoin code can somehow be traced back to Jeffrey Epstein. Well, if true, that would change everything. Bitcoin has always been tied to the mysterious identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, a name that's existed for years without a face, without a confirmed person behind it. The entire crypto world was built on that mystery. Now imagine replacing that unknown figure with one of the most controversial individuals in modern history. Bitcoin was supposed to represent freedom from traditional banks, freedom from centralized control, a system beyond manipulation. It became a symbol of independence, a safeguard against inflation and the collapse of traditional financial structures. But if someone like Epstein had access in the beginning, if he had influence behind the scenes, then that story begins to look very different. Because early access means early ownership. Early ownership means unimaginable profit as Bitcoin's value surged over time. Every rise, every record-breaking milestone, every moment people celebrated the future of decentralized money could have also meant profit flowing quietly into unseen hands. And that leaves behind a question, well, that's difficult to ignore. Was Bitcoin truly created to a free world, or was it quietly funding something far darker from the very beginning? Now we got another clip that looked like merfolk. Now this one, I gotta be honest with you, it looks a little more legit. Not by much, but it looks a little bit more legit. Be honest with you, I like this one. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's obviously fake. I mean, give me a break here. But my God, kudos to whoever made this, because does this say who made this? Yvonne? Even his picture, half his face is like, no, the whole thing's AI. Everything's AI. It's clever, and I gotta be honest with you, it's clever, but come on, give me a break here. Now, what do you think of this next one? First and foremost, it's 16.9. Second, you can't really see a lot of what's going on. Now, I have my reservations here, but you tell me what you think. You see, some people think this is a weather balloon. Now, most of the videos that I do, as you well know, when I kind of do the reaction thing, I'm kind of skeptical about most, but this, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to think. It's a bit weird, right? I mean, it's kind of like that big thing that's been photographed and videoed out in space, that big log-looking thing. That's not a weather balloon. So what is it? Put it in the comments section. What do you think that is? Because that's not a weather balloon. We must have some weather people here. Just if this is something that you put out there in the atmosphere to gauge stuff. Now take a look at this clip and decide for yourself. Are you looking at a dog or something else entirely? A man living in New Jersey shared footage captured by his home security camera. The camera was mounted high, overlooking part of his property. Late one night, it detected movement and slowly panned downward, locking onto something below. For a brief moment, it captured a figure moving on four legs, but something about it felt wrong. The legs were long, longer than expected, and the proportions did not resemble any familiar breed of dog. There was an unnatural look to the way it carried itself, and then, almost as quickly as it appeared, the creature turned and ran straight into the woods, vanishing into the tree line as if it had never been there at all. Some viewers believe the explanation is simple: a stray dog, perhaps a large breed distorted by the camera angle and low light. Cameras can play tricks after all, stretching shapes and creating illusions where none exist. But others are not quite so convinced. They point to the body proportions, the length of the limbs, the way it moves. Well, it doesn't look like a normal dog. It doesn't move like one either. This sighting becomes even more unsettling when you consider the history of the region. For generations, people have reported encounters with a creature known as the Jersey Devil. Witnesses have described something unnatural roaming the forests, a being with elongated limbs, a form that doesn't fully resemble any known animal, a presence that appears without warning and disappears just as quickly. Others believe it could be something else entirely, something known as the Dogman, a creature reported in different parts of the country described as tall, fast, and, not quite animal, but also not quite human. The clip lasts only seconds, just enough time to see it, not enough time to understand it. And maybe that is what makes it so unsettling. Because whatever it was, it knew exactly where the woods were, and it wasted no time returning to them. Now tell me something, have you ever watched The Last of Us? Remember the infected humans, the runners, the clickers, and those fungal growths forcing their way out of their bodies? Okay, now take a look at this grasshopper. What you're seeing might look like something straight out of that world. Red growths pushing outward, taking over, changing the host from the inside. But this is not fiction. This is real. The grasshopper has been infected by a parasite known as the Ophiocordyceps. This fungus specifically targets insects. Once its spores attach to the host, they begin to spread internally, slowly taking over. The fungus consumes the insect's tissue, weakening it, overtaking it, until eventually the host dies. But it doesn't end there. Even after death, the fungus continues to grow. It pushes outward, breaking through the body, forming those visible red stalks. These growths are not random. They're reproductive structures. Their purpose is to release spores into the environment, allowing the fungus to spread and infect to its next victim. That looks disturbing, almost unnatural, but this process has existed long before humans ever noticed it. Deep in the forest and open fields, this silent takeover has been happening for millions of years. And while it may remind us of something far more terrifying, this parasite evolved for one purpose only, to infect insects. Not us, yeah. Not us. At least for now. Now we got an alien that looks a bit lost and confused. Okay. You don't think an alien would look that wretched on our planet, but then again, we had one in 1982 with a little finger that went, "Phone home, phone home."
Yeah, so I've said it before that aliens
Oh,
are real.
it's a baby.
So this is an alien caught on camera. Very creepy if you ask me. And just like I said, that mermaids are also real. They're not what people tag them to be.
It's a baby.
So what do you think about this creepy creature caught on camera in a thick forest? Wow, this is really scary. If you see these in the night, what are you going to do? Tell me.
I don't know about you, but sometimes I've come back from a curry house or something and being caught a little bit short and you'd like, I just gotta do something. And that's the face that I use whenever I'm looking around going, anyone on the motorway gonna see me? Anyone gonna see me on the motorway? I just gotta do something now. So this poor little alien guy, I guarantee you he's been to the nearest curry house that he can find and just understood that was the worst mistake he ever made. Late night drives carry a different kind of silence. The roads are empty, the world feels still, and sometimes in that stillness something appears that was never supposed to be there. This footage was captured by a dash cam belonging to a woman driving home in the northwest of the United Kingdom. It was around 2 a.m. The roads were almost completely empty, with no traffic and no signs of life. As she continued driving and began to change lanes, something suddenly crossed the road ahead of her. It moved quickly from one side to the other, reaching the left shoulder before disappearing into the darkness. The dashcam captured the moment clearly enough to show a shape, but not clearly enough to explain it. When the footage is zoomed in, the figure becomes even more unsettling. It appears tall, its arms seem extended forward, its posture stiff and unnatural, almost as if it were not moving the way a normal person would. Well, some viewers believe it could have been a tall individual crossing the road, but others question that explanation. At 2 a.m. in the area where pedestrians are rare, even during the day, the presence of anyone on foot would, already be unusual. There were no nearby shops, no bus stops, no clear reason for someone to be walking there at all, which leaves behind a far more unsettling possibility. Was this simply someone in the wrong place at the wrong time, or did a dashcam capture something that was never meant to be seen? I didn't think we would get here this quickly. What you're looking at is not an edited image. It's not AI-generated artwork. It's exactly what it claims to be. Rent-A-Human. A system where automated software assigns tasks to real people when it cannot complete these tasks on its own. And when you first hear that, it feels backward. AI was created to automate work, to reduce human involvement, to replace repetitive tasks, but now we're watching something unexpected happen. The system is routing assignments back to humans. The very tool designed to remove human labor is now depending on it. It feels less like a replacement and more like a delegation. Every AI system was built by people, funded by companies, trained on human-created data, and when these systems generate revenue, that profit flows back to the organizations behind them. But something about this shift feels different, because now the system is not just performing tasks, it's assigning them, managing workflows, distributing payments. It's stepping into a role that once belonged only to humans. A managerial role. And that raises a deeper question. If AI systems eventually generate their own income and use that income to pay humans directly, where does the chain of control end? And at what point does the tool stop being just a tool? And at what point does it begin to operate on its own terms? You tell me, how do you feel about a future where AI doesn't just work for us, but hires us? Normal picture or not such a normal picture? Family gathering, I mean, what could be more normal than that? Let's have a look.
So from an iPhone. All the guests are gathered around the table, but there's one extra guest at the end of the table that nobody knew was there. A terrifyingly chilling face is sitting at the very end. It even looks like it's wearing a black puffer jacket, and it looks like it's moving in the live photo. Now, the person who took this photo said there was nobody sitting on that end of the table. They have no idea what this is. And they are creeped out by this, as they should be. This thing is just sitting in the back next to a wall, staring at the person taking this photo. It's very large, dark eyes. Its mouth is turned into a frown. And like I said, at one point you can actually see it move. So it's not just like something piled up right there. It's some sort of being. It makes you wonder if this is some kind of omen for this couple that's getting married. What do you guys think this is? And why did it decide to join this dinner party?
The footage is, I'm guessing by the look of the camera, early 2000s. If this was taken now, we could straight away say fake. So what I'd like to know is when this was taken, because it looks strangely real. Can we get an idea of that? Anyone else out there understand what's going on here? Okay, now this next one kind of gripped my heart quite heavily. I don't know how many of you have lost a parent, lost both parents, as is the case with me. So whenever I see something that kind of touches me deep inside, which this kind of has, I'm a great believer that the people that are on the other side, they do give you signs. They do give you understanding. And when my father passed away, I was sitting at a coffee table the day after, and a little robin came right onto the table and stared at me for about 10 minutes. Didn't go away, kept flying to different places, but kept on coming back. Never happened to me before in my life. So there are signs, and this footage could be interesting. Looks like she was beamed out of the place. This could be interesting. What the hell? Okay, I gotta watch that again. I mean, it's really difficult to understand, because that could easily be AI, but at the same time, there's been enough alien abduction. Interesting. Tell me what you think. Now we're going to Australia, mate. Back in the days when capybara moving through the swamp with dangerous animals around it. Now I wonder what the hell this is all about, eh? That was a terrible Australian accent, and I get it. But we're gonna watch this anyway and see what the hell it's all about.
Amigo だね。
Amigo.
Amigo.
It's got... It's like it's trying to be the thing, the swamp thing. Oh no, the stuff's come off now. Okay, fair enough. My God, are you kidding me?
食べてほしいな。みんな嫌がってる、すごい嫌がってる。
Is this real?
She's in charge. Amazing.
Is capybara not like an alligator's main food source or something? One of two things is happening here. Either the reason all these alligators are just sitting around is because they're already full and they couldn't eat another bite, or capybara tastes so that they wouldn't actually do anything to this thing in the first place. Have we got any biologists, naturists and nude people? I said that wrong. You know what I'm trying to say? People who understand this stuff much, much better than I do. Can you give us an idea of what's going on here?
食べてほしいな。みんな嫌がってる、すごい嫌がって。
She's in charge. Amazing. I'm really soft.
Now, this has been everywhere recently, but for good reason. Is this the Jim Carrey we remember? When you place older photographs of Jim Carrey next to the more recent appearances, the differences stand out immediately. The jaw appears broader, the chin looks heavier, the overall face structure does not seem to match the version people remember from the 1990s and early 2000s. It's subtle at first, but once you see it, it's difficult to ignore. Some say it's simply age. After all, everyone changes over time, but aging does not usually reshape the underlying structure of the face so dramatically. Bone structure tends to remain consistent, and that is where the questions begin. There's a pattern some people believe they've noticed. A celebrity reaches the peak of their influence, they begin speaking openly, sometimes criticizing powerful systems, then they disappear from public view. And when they return, something about them feels different, not just in what they say, but in how they look. Carrey was known for criticizing Hollywood and speaking out about deeper issues within the industry. But the theories don't stop there. Some even pointed to former President Joe Biden, claiming his appearance has changed as well. They were whispers suggesting something far stranger, that masks, doubles, or replacements could exist behind the scenes. Hollywood has always carried an air of mystery, a place where illusion is perfected, where what you see is carefully controlled. Now, we'll look closely at recent images of Carrey. Study the details, the shape, the structure, the presence. Is it simply the natural passage of time, or is there something else standing in his place? And by that, I mean a clone. While we're diving deeper into the strange world of Hollywood, there's one moment that continues to resurface: the mysterious baby bump of Beyoncé. At the time, it caught the attention of the online community almost instantly. For some, it was shocking. For others, it felt like confirmation of rumors they had already believed for years. The footage was analyzed, replayed, and debated endlessly. People were not just watching, they were searching for something. But the conversation didn't stop there. Attention soon shifted to Wendy Williams, the talk show host who openly discussed Beyoncé's baby bump. She spoke about it publicly, raising questions that many others were hesitant to say out loud. Fast forward to today, and Wendy Williams is now struggling with dementia. Well, some believe it's just an unfortunate turn of events. Others see it differently. They question whether it was a coincidence or consequence. This feeds into a larger narrative that has existed in certain corners of Hollywood for years, the belief that not everything presented to the public is real. Behind the scenes, systems exist that ordinary people can never see, just like the cloning theories. Some claim that certain celebrities don't carry their children themselves, that pregnancies may be managed, controlled, or even manufactured away from public eye. And for some observers, Beyoncé's pregnancy became one of the most talked about examples. Then there's Rihanna. Unlike the secrecy people associate with others, she shared her pregnancy openly. She showed her baby bump proudly. She allowed the world to see each stage without hiding it, and that openness raised a new question. Was it simply personal choice, or was it a quiet break from an unspoken Hollywood script? The vast expanse of the ocean is home to a plethora of fascinating and often mysterious creatures, and it seems that every day we'll learn something new about this underwater world. Recently, a fascinating video clip has emerged which has captured the attention of marine biologists and ocean enthusiasts alike. The footage shows an octopus-like creature swimming through the ocean depths. The creature appears to be white and seems to move gracefully through the water. Once this hit the paranormal platforms, a number of individuals quickly thought it was alien or a previously unknown species. Some even thought the footage was edited. A little digging around, however, and we discovered that this is an actual real-life octopus. It's what's known as a blanket octopus, and they do exist. The blanket octopus belongs to the genus Tremoctopus, and there are 4 recognized species within this genus. Females of the species can grow up to 6 feet, 2 meters in length, while males are significantly smaller, typically around 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters long. Females have a striking appearance with long, flowing web-like membranes stretching between their arms, giving them the appearance of a blanket. Males, on the other hand, lack this elaborate membrane. Despite their intriguing characteristics, blanket octopuses remain relatively understudied due to the challenges of studying deep-sea organisms. This might explain why they're not so well known as compared to other octopi. There were, however, some like this user who actually knew what it was. There were also some who knew what they were but refused to believe that they were from the planet. Yes, they believed these were aliens. Despite the scarcity of knowledge on the creatures, there's ongoing research that aims to uncover more about their biology, behavior, and ecological role in marine ecosystems. Interesting, don't you think? Birth defects are typically irreversible in most situations. Pregnant creatures, be they human or animal, could give birth to offspring that are very different from the accepted and known norms of their species. Take a look at this footage, for instance, that was taken in what looks like a hospital. On the bed, you can see a strange, hairless creature lying down. It looks humanoid, with the odd feature being its arms, which are very skinny. Too skinny to be anything human. The strange-looking creature has a bald head and a flat chest with a huge belly. Now, as the video is zoomed in on its face, you can make out the mouth looks as though it's been bitten off. The rest of its face, however, remains intact. Now, there is no context to the footage, so there's not much we can say about it. No one who commented on the original post knew what it was either. Some stated it could be someone born through a birth defect. Others thought that was too convenient and that it was possible we could be dealing with some sort of alien creature. The truth, however, is that it could be any of these possibilities. You can never rule anything out when it comes to paranormal and strange things. I've read some of your experiences in the comments sections before and personally gone through some things to know that much is definitely true. In the Bible, there's a lot of talk about signs of the end times, and many believe that current events align with those prophecies. One of the signs mentioned is the drying up of the Euphrates River. This video, shared by a man who visited the area, shows a dried up portion of the river with a hole in the ground. According to certain interpretations of biblical prophecy, particularly in the book of Revelations, it's said that when the Euphrates dries up, angels or demons chained beneath the earth will be released. Now, people are speculating whether this eerie sight could be connected to those end-time prophecies. Some claim to have heard strange, unsettling sounds coming from the area, suggesting something might be stirring underground. Could this be the release of ancient beings as described in the Bible, or is it just a natural phenomenon? Others are skeptical and suggest the sounds could be fabricated or misinterpreted. The drying of rivers is not uncommon, especially with climate change, but the addition of mysterious noises does make people wonder if there's more to it. What do you think this could be a sign of? Something biblical or just an eerie coincidence?
right now. Is Grandpa here? No, he isn't here. He's gone, Molly. What are you looking at? Grandpa. Grandpa, can you hear me? Yes. Oh my God.
Have you ever seen those devices where dogs can press buttons to communicate? It's fascinating. Dogs can form simple sentences by pressing the buttons, but one dog owner shared a truly unsettling video that's been circulating online. In the video, the dog keeps pressing the button that says Grandpa. Grandpa is here. The owner, confused, responds, Grandpa's not here, yet the dog continues to stare at the couch while pressing the button repeatedly. What makes it even creepier is what happens next. Two distinct dents suddenly appear on the couch cushions, as if someone had just sat down, marking the shape of thighs. The owner is visibly freaked out, as it seems the dog might have been seeing Grandpa after all, even if no one else could. Could the dog have sensed something supernatural? What do you think?
Here. Grandpa isn't here right now. Is Grandpa here? No, he isn't here. He's gone, Molly. What are you looking at? Grandpa. Grandpa, can you hear me? Yes. Oh my God.
The eyes are one of the most crucial organs of our body, and any abnormality in them should be taken seriously. If your eye looks like the one in this footage, it's crucial to visit a specialist immediately. When I first saw this, I was a bit uncomfortable and wondered if it had anything to do with the supernatural. I did some reading around and realized it's an actual condition, and it's called iridodenesis. The condition is characterized by the abnormal movement or trembling of the iris. During an eye examination, this movement is typically observed and may be caused by various underlying causes, such as weakness or damage to the muscles that control the iris or the support structures holding the lens in place. The most common causes of iridodenesis are cataracts, trauma to the eye, or complications from eye surgery. In some cases, it may also be caused by other medical conditions, such as glaucoma or retinal detachment. Iridodenesis may lead to visual disturbances or changes in vision, and it is essential to seek immediate medical attention if you experience any such symptoms. This next clip makes me believe that the zombie apocalypse might not just be a thing of fiction, but an actual possibility. I recently came across this footage of a man driving on a road when he encountered a ram walking recklessly on the street. Curious about the ram's condition, he slowed down to check on it, and that's when he noticed something strange. When you look closely, you'll notice that the ram's skull has been crushed, which means it was most likely gravely injured and should be either dead or at the point of death. This discovery naturally left many people confused, and theories started to emerge until the man mentioned he saw something that looked like fungus inside the ram's hollow head. Once this was mentioned, many thought it was Ophiocordyceps, which is known to attack ants. For those unfamiliar with them, when ants come into contact with Ophiocordyceps spores, the fungus enters the body and begins to grow. Gradually, the fungus takes control of the ant's movements, causing it to climb to a high spot and attach itself to a surface. Even after the ant dies, the fungus continues to grow and eventually forms a stalk-like structure on the ant's body. This structure releases more spores into the air, which can infect other ants nearby, continuing the fungus's life cycle. They are, however, known to affect ants in most cases. There have been cases where it has been found infecting other organisms, such as spiders and caterpillars. These cases are, however, very rare. The idea that it could potentially infect larger animals like rams is theoretically possible, although such cases would likely be even more rare than the cases involving spiders and caterpillars. If we have learned anything about nature, rare doesn't mean impossible. We could basically be looking at one of these extreme cases where this happens. If the clip is to be believed, however, then it begs the question, are humans even safe from this fungus? Think about it.
Every week, twice a week, I make deliveries to the same guy. I've been doing it for 7 months. And it's the same guy every time I walk in. He's got a big garage with like a couple trucks in it.
I walk in, I hand him his parts, we talk for a minute, I walk away. I go on my business. Today,
This man believes he saw a demon, and it's no joke. He's a delivery man who has been making deliveries to a particular client. On one of the days, he visited to do his delivery as usual, but was met with an unusual situation. The man whom he's always delivered to looked different. He had dark eyes and funny ears, and his face was just odd. This caused the man to jump back, and the client even teased him for being jumpy. It was for a moment, and then the client's face went back to normal. This had him questioning what he had seen. It wasn't until he went back and realized the man had died a while longer, much longer than he had been delivering to him. The big question now is, who was he delivering the items to? Some think it's a ghost, while many others think it's a demon. Allegedly, there's a demon face syndrome ongoing currently. Here, we aren't talking about the medical condition. No, we're actually talking about the situation where people are seeing the faces of demons.
Listen up, y'all. There are beings that is walking this earth, and they are not human. I just came from Kroger's. I just got off of work.
This woman also had a similar experience. Now, the big question is the government infecting us with hallucinogens to see these things? Are demons becoming bolder in preparation for something? Or is it the Lord simply opening our eyes to the demonic presences around us? It's hard to say, but share your thoughts, as I'd love to hear them. This woman just gave birth to a baby with an unusual appearance, particularly noticeable in the eyes and mouth. The condition is called harlequin ichthyosis, a rare and severe genetic skin disorder. Babies born with this condition have thick, hard patches of skin that form large diamond-shaped plates separated by deep cracks. The tightness of the skin around the eyes, mouth, and other areas can cause the eyelids and lips to turn outward, which gives the appearance you are seeing. This condition also makes the skin more prone to infections and other complications. Though it's a serious condition, advancements in medical care have significantly improved the survival rate and quality of life for those born with harlequin ichthyosis. With proper care, individuals can live more comfortably despite the challenges. Wendy Wilson, a keen explorer and photographer, shared some fascinating pictures of a Bigfoot she encountered. The images, although blurry, introduced to us an ape-like creature. It appears to be hiding behind something metallic, and looking at the trail camera, naturally, this has Bigfoot enthusiasts excited, and I can understand why. Every potential picture of the big guy brings us close to locating him and solving the mystery surrounding him. Although the location hasn't been revealed, many were excited to see this. There were those who were naturally skeptical, not because they didn't necessarily think Bigfoot was real, but because this image was supposedly taken by a professional photographer. They argued that such a person should have powerful lenses and capable editing software to make the image visible, but that's not the case here. This makes them think the image might be one of those recycled ones from the internet. But do tell us what you think in the comments section, as we'd love to hear your take. The sight that the truck driver captured on camera in Richmond, Virginia is truly breathtaking. The tunnel of clouds in the sky appears to be set ablaze by an intense orange glow, creating a mesmerizing spectacle that's not commonly seen. The truck driver was so captivated by the sight that he stopped his vehicle and got out to film it. Once this hit the internet, many theories came up, with some believing it was the sign of a bad omen. There were some like this user who even thought that it had to be weaponized clouds. I mean, if it were your first time seeing something like this, there's a high probability that you might think the same. There were some also who thought it was a beautiful sight. I can see why these individuals think that. I did some research and realized that this is likely a type of cloud often referred to as a roll cloud. For those unfamiliar with them, roll clouds are formed when a cold air mass meets a warm front and creates a horizontal cylinder of air. As the cylinder of air moves forward, it creates a rolling effect, hence the name roll cloud. These clouds are typically found in coastal areas and are often associated with thunderstorms, although they're not themselves storm clouds. In this case, it's possible that the roll cloud was illuminated by the setting sun, creating the orange glow seen in the footage. The combination of the rolling effect and the fiery coloration makes for a truly stunning natural display that is sure to leave any viewer in awe. I returned to the comments section of the post and found comments like these affirming the hypothesis. Interesting, don't you think? Have you heard of Ceres? It's a fascinating little world that's alleged to exist in space. Ceres isn't actually a planet, but a dwarf planet. It's smaller than Mars, about 2/3 its size. You can find it in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Though Ceres was first spotted way back in 1801 by an Italian astronomer named Giuseppe Piazzi, NASA took a closer look in 2015. They sent a spacecraft called Dawn to explore it. Dawn's visit to Ceres was eye-opening. Scientists discovered bright spots on its surface which turned out to be salt deposits. This suggests that Ceres might have, or had, some water beneath its surface. The glowing effect of these bright spots comes from sunlight reflecting off the salty patches. Ceres is about 590 miles wide, making it the biggest object in the asteroid belt and the only dwarf planet in that part of our solar system. You can't see Ceres with the naked eye because it's too small and too far away. It's over 250 million miles from Earth, so it's just a tiny speck in the vastness of space. Even with a telescope, it appears as a faint dot. That has me thinking, what do we know more about what's hiding in plain sight? A helicopter was flying over the ocean when something unusual caught the pilot's eye. Below, in the vast expanse of water, were two parallel streaks moving swiftly. At first glance, it looked like some sort of enormous serpent, but the way these streaks moved, straight and unwavering, didn't match the typical slithering motion of a serpent. Could this be evidence of colossal sea monsters or perhaps something else entirely? According to Julius, our in-house science whiz, the straight-line movement suggests it might not be a living creature, but rather some kind of large underwater object or phenomenon. What do you think? Do you believe in the existence of ghosts? This is a question that has puzzled many for centuries. In those centuries, different individuals have come up with varying answers. Some believe that after we die, there might be a spirit version of ourselves that roams the earth when we have unfinished business. People share stories of seeing their loved ones after they've passed away, and some even report having encounters with other spirits. Recently, a surveillance camera captured something strange and inexplicable. In the footage, we see a man wearing a black jacket with pants walking down a deserted street. He seems to be holding something in his hands, and initially there's nothing out of the ordinary. However, as the footage progresses, it begins to get grainy, and the man appears to be fading away. Within a matter of seconds, he vanishes into thin air. Could this be evidence of the existence of ghosts? While there's a possibility of this being edited footage, it's also worth considering the possibility that the man in the video could be a wandering soul unable to rest until his unfinished business is complete. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the fascination and intrigue that surrounds the concept of life after death. Perhaps someday we'll find concrete evidence of what happens to us after we die, but until then, we can only speculate and wonder. The forest is a place of natural beauty and is home to a wide variety of flora and fauna. However, in recent times, people have reported seeing unusual and mysterious creatures lurking in the woods. These sightings make you question the existence of paranormal entities and even extraterrestrial life in our forests. Take this footage, for instance. A person was walking home through the forest when they spotted something moving in the darkness up ahead. As the creature emerged into the light, the person was left in awe. The creature was pure white, crouched on the ground, and had jet black eyes that seemed to pierce the darkness. The creature moved slowly, almost deliberately, and stared directly into the camera, as if it knew it was being filmed. What kind of creature was it? The one filming wasn't sure, and neither am I. It's certainly not an animal that we're familiar with, but its appearance and behavior were eerily humanoid yet animalistic. Many who saw the clip refused to believe this was an actual creature. One even mentioned that it looked like a Halloween costume he got for his daughter. We combed the internet trying to find evidence of the creature but found nothing. This does little to add to the skepticism and mystery surrounding the post. What do you guys think? Wondering what we are looking at here? Well, scientists have created tiny robots that can move and join individual cells. This amazing technology is called microscale robotics for single-cell manipulation. These tiny robots are incredibly precise and can work at the scale of a single cell, giving us control over how cells behave and interact. They could be used in many exciting ways in medicine and biology, like delivering drugs exactly where they're needed, repairing tissues, or studying how cells act in different situations. Imagine being able to fix damaged tissues, creating new tissues for transplants, or even cure diseases by targeting them at the cellular level. This technology completely changed how we approach medical treatments and scientific research, opening up new possibilities for healthcare. I don't know about you, but this has me fascinated and excited. Someone found this strange creature walking on the ground. It was some sort of insect with what looked like little sticks sticking out from its back. I had never seen this before until I did a little research and found out that this is called a bagworm. Bagworms are fascinating creatures. They're actually the larvae of moths, and they create protective cases around themselves using silken bits of plant material like twigs and leaves, which is why it looked like it had sticks sticking out of its back. These cases or bags provide camouflage and protection as the larvae feed on foliage. What's really interesting about bagworms is their life cycle. These larvae hatch and immediately begin to build their protective bags, which they carry around with them as they move. When they pupate, they do so inside these bags. The adult males emerge as moths, but the females often remain in their bags, where they lay eggs to start the cycle anew. While they might look a bit creepy or unusual at first glance, bagworms are a natural part of many ecosystems. They can, however, become pests if their population grew too large, as they can defoliate trees and shrubs. So next time you see what looks like a walking bundle of sticks, you'll know you're looking at a bagworm. That brings us to our next mystery. This was captured by a group of individuals who were exploring the woods and taking photos. It was through this adventure that they noticed something strange under a tree ahead of them. Curiosity got the better of them, and they cautiously approached the area. When they got closer, this is what they saw staring at them from the cover of the foliage. The creature was about 7 feet tall, with broad shoulders covered in fur, except for its shoulders and face, which were visible. His first thought was that it might be a bear, but when you look closely, you realize that this was not a bear, but rather a humanoid with a longer snout and pointed ears on its head. Fascinated and terrified, they took a picture as fast as they could and ran out of the area. Once they were home, they took the best-looking picture, which is what you see, and uploaded it. Everyone who saw it was convinced that it might be an actual dogman or potentially a werewolf. Looking at the image, I get why they might think that. The beast certainly has features that are befitting the description of the dogman, but due to the blurry nature of the footage, we can't fully confirm. Some say the blurred image is proof that it's fake, but could also be proof that this is real since, according to their story, they had to quickly take the picture and run out. If that alibi is to be believed, then it could have resulted in a blurry image like you see. But then again, this is the internet, so anything is possible. Imagine taking a stroll by the beach, enjoying the sea breeze through your hair and the wet sand under your feet. Suddenly, you come across a peculiar stone on the shore. Upon closer inspection, you realize that it's shaped like a face. What do you do in such a situation? Well, the person who came across this stone decided to touch it. The stone, however, came to life and snapped at the person's finger, after which it quickly sank back into the sea. Strange? Well, not really, especially if you know what this stone-faced thing truly is. It's apparently called a reef stonefish, and it's the most venomous fish. The reef stonefish is found in the shallow coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific region, particularly around coral reefs. It's known for its remarkable camouflage, blending in seamlessly with its surroundings due to its rough, wart-like skin and coloration resembling rocks or coral. Despite its unassuming appearance, the reef stonefish possesses potent venomous spines along its dorsal fin. These aren't just for decoration, as they're capable of delivering a painful and potentially lethal sting to unsuspecting predators or humans who accidentally step on it. The venom can cause excruciating pain, tissue damage, and in severe cases, paralysis or even death if not treated promptly. Reef stonefish are primarily ambush predators, lying in wait on the sea floor for prey to pass by before striking with lightning speed. Perhaps that might explain how it patiently waited for the young lad to get closer than launch. Someone in the comments section even asked what he expected. If there's a lesson to be learned here, it's that to not pick up any strange-looking stone at the beach, especially if you can't confirm if it's really a stone. Aaron showed me this footage a while ago and said it's a man-made rock. Honestly, I didn't know what to make of it, so take a look and tell me what you think. In the video, you can see a dusty human-like head pushing its way through a rectangular hole. The texture looks whitish, almost like stone. It struggles to squeeze through, then retreats back in almost as if it's alive. Is this some kind of cryptid, or is it really a man made of rock like people say? Could this be some strange creature, or are we just looking at an incredibly well-done special effect? This next clip comes all the way from Yellowstone Park. Enjoy. I know we've spoken about the big guy multiple times, and some of you have been skeptical about his existence. But does this clear it up? You see the large humanoid creatures walking through the park, right? Do you know any animal species that fits the bill? No? Well, what do you think we're dealing with then? Gorilla? Chimp? They don't fit the bill now, do they? That leaves one obvious answer: Bigfoot. Yellowstone Park has been described by many to be a Bigfoot hotspot, and if this clip is to be believed, then it's safe to say that might be true. There are some who make an interesting argument, though. They think it might be a doctored footage and one created by AI. When you watch the clip multiple times, you start to see what they mean. But then again, when you go fault-finding, you're sure to find something. Is that the case here, or is there something really wrong with this? Now, if the idea of a zombie apocalypse didn't spook you, maybe this would. Imagine walking through an underground parking lot alone and coming across this, a road divider dragging itself across the floor. Seeing it reminds me of the video games where ghosts hide in everyday furniture and items to avoid detection.
Mira, coche tu madre. Lo vine acá a otro lado ahora, pues, weón. No, hijo de la perra.
How's this possible? Well, we can't say. While some in the original post wanted to believe it was nothing more than a prank, a number of them believed that there was some kind of supernatural force at work here. Having seen the clip yourself, what do you think might be the explanation for the situation here?
Lo vine acá a otro lado ahora, pues, weón. No, hijo de la perra.
Show you something that I don't know how to explain at all. Either the government is building something insane, or this is aliens.
Why, what is it?
You know Google Earth, right?
Yeah.
Do you have Google Earth on your phone?
Probably not, but I'm probably just gonna Google them.
Okay, well, I will do it on my phone real quick.
You have Google Earth on your phone?
Yes.
I came across this interesting video on the various paranormal platforms on the internet. It's about a set of mysterious coordinates that led to some peculiar findings on Google Earth. Curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to investigate further. Inputting them into Google Earth led me to a desolate, sandy location which had an unusual object in the middle of it. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it appears to be guarded by military tanks. This piqued my interest even more, and I started to probe the internet trying to find out what it was. Some who had seen it stated that it was a black hole that goes deep into the ground. They also added that on the opposite side of the hole is the same shaped object on the sand. There were some who also stated it was a military base and nothing more. An example is this user here who stated it's a training camp that uses tanks as targets when they practice targets for airstrikes. This user, who apparently lived there for a while, supported the claim. There were some who thought it also looked too much like a spaceship to be anything otherwise. So now we have three hypotheses: portal, military base, and alien ship. Which do you think is more plausible? Have you ever seen a cloud like this? An observer shared a video online of a very peculiar cloud formation that's left many people baffled. The cloud appears to have these straight, clean lines, almost as if it were shaped like a ruler. It's so perfectly outlined that it doesn't even seem real at first glance. It's not the typical, fluffy, irregular clouds we're used to seeing. This one looks unnaturally geometric, as though someone carved it out of the sky. Some people are suggesting it could be a rare atmospheric phenomenon, while others think it might be tied to some form of weather manipulation or even something more mysterious. Could this be natural, or is there something more going on here? Next, we visit India, where this clip was captured. What comes to mind when you see this? UFO? UAP? The individual who uploaded this believes it's an alien ship. It looks like a ship with lights beneath it. I'm not sure why it's that visible, because these ships usually have the ships trying to cloak themselves. This one, on the other hand, is doing the opposite, but you have to wonder, why are there so many UFO clips of late? Also, how come they're becoming bolder in their approach and not cloaking themselves? Are they sending us a message? Is there something we need to prep for? These thoughts keep me up at night.
Sewage treatment plant behind us takes in the waste of 500,000 people, and when it can't cope with it, it chucks it straight out here. And in the marine life just beneath our feet, we're actually finding they're full of drugs. They're full of contraceptive pill, antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication. Every single marine species that we've looked at so far is full of cocaine.
Recent findings from Langston, UK have revealed a concerning discovery. Experts conducting a series of tests on the fish found that they were all contaminated with cocaine. It's worrisome that all the marine life in the area, including the fish, have been affected by this issue. The root of the problem lies in the sewer that disposes of waste into the water bodies. Somehow, drugs are being transported in large quantities through the sewer, which is then concentrated in the water. The excessive presence of drugs in the water has led to the contamination of the entire marine ecosystem. This poses a serious threat to human health as well. One cannot help but wonder about the consequences of consuming the contaminated fish. The possibility of harmful effects on human health is high, and something that must be taken seriously. I tried to find this interview on mainstream news outlets and discovered other news articles which had similar information in the UK alone. This issue highlights the need for better waste management. As serious as the situation is, it was funny to find some jokes from some who watched the video. It's funny, but maybe they have a point, wouldn't you agree?
Sampling these marine species, and you're finding that what's in the sewage water ends up in those species.
Yeah, exactly. The drugs affect this wildlife in the same way that they do us.
Our next footage takes us all the way to Mexico, where some residents captured something rather odd and peculiar in their streets. The footage introduces us to a nighttime in the neighborhood. All things being equal, the streets should be quiet and empty. In the beginning, it appears that way. But take a closer look and you'll realize that there are two tiny creatures on the side of the road. One crosses to the opposite side and the other follows. At first, I thought they were little children, but I feel they're too small for that to be the case. Also, those filming won't have been enthused about little children. They're actually very convinced that they have captured a duende. For those unfamiliar with the term, duendes are mythical creatures described as small, gnome-like beings with human features like pointy ears and wrinkled faces. They live in forests, mountains, and even homes. While they're mischievous, they're usually harmless, playing pranks on humans and hiding objects. While it would be nice to confidently state these are duendes, there's not a lot to go on over here. You guys see the clips too, so what do you think? A group of friends decided to take a nighttime swim, eager for a refreshing adventure under the moonlit sky, because nothing could go wrong. Their excitement, however, quickly turned to dread as they approached the water's edge. There, illuminated by the faint light of the moon, was a bizarre creature. It had a smooth, small head perched on a long neck and a fish-like tail that flicked ominously in the water. The sight was so unsettling that the friends froze, their night of fun abruptly turning into a scene from a horror movie. When they shared their experience, opinions were sharply divided. Some viewers shrugged it off, insisting it was nothing more than a seal common in those waters. However, others speculated wildly and were convinced that the friends had encountered a genuine sea monster, a creature of legend and mystery lurking beneath the waves. What do you think it was? During an eclipse, some observers captured a truly bizarre scene in the sky. A flaming orb was flying through the sky, and atop this orb stood a dark, humanoid figure. I've seen a lot of strange things, but this one is truly otherworldly. What could this flaming orb be, and who or what could the figure standing on it be? This sighting raises numerous intriguing questions. The flaming orb could potentially be explained by natural phenomenon such as a rare atmospheric condition or a meteor. Sometimes natural events can take on unexpected appearances, especially when viewed through the unique lighting conditions of an eclipse. However, the presence of a dark humanoid figure standing atop the orb complicates this explanation. Personally speaking, I don't know what to make of it. Can you? In this video footage, someone can be seen cutting a tree branch, which causes it to bleed. The concept of bleeding trees is a fascinating aspect of folklore and mythology that can be found in various cultures around the world. For some cultures, these trees are sacred and believed to possess spiritual powers or serve as places for religious rituals. Many people view the bleeding as messages from gods or spirits, conveying warnings or guidance. In contrast, other stories link bleeding trees to tragedies or divine punishments. There are even legends that mention individuals cursed by the gods whose actions have an effect on nature, aka cause these trees to bleed as a consequence of their wrongdoing. There are some cultures who also believe that it's a sign of miraculous healing or fertility. According to some legends, contact with the bleeding sap of these trees can cure illnesses or grant fertility, among other things. While the idea of bleeding trees may seem mystical, in the modern age an explanation has been discovered. The bleeding tree shown in the video is a bloodwood tree, scientifically known as Pterocarpus angolensis. This type of tree is native to southern Africa and can be found in countries such as Angola, Namibia, and Botswana. The tree gets its name from the unique reddish sap which resembles blood. The bloodwood tree is prized for its strong, durable wood, which is used for making furniture, building, and traditional medicine. The bleeding that occurs is the natural fluid that the tree produces, and not actual blood. That's a relief, huh? Fire is a phenomenon that has both positive and negative effects. While it can be destructive, it is necessary for several reasons, such as cooking, heating, and even providing light. There are, however, some strange occurrences associated with fire that can be difficult to explain. One such occurrence is the fire whirl, also known as a fire tornado or fire devil. A fire whirl is a spinning column of flames that forms during a fire, often in wildfires or large fires when hot air rises rapidly, creating a spinning motion. These whirlwinds can be small or large, resembling tornadoes. In an intriguing incident captured on video, a tornado of fire can be seen forming at the center of burning garbage. This whirlwind of flames is a fascinating sight to behold, despite its destructive nature. When it comes to wildfires, fire whirls can become more dangerous, causing severe damage to anything in their path. Another strange incident captured on camera was the sight of tubes of fire moving through a forest fire, making it appear as though the fire was walking. However, this is a common phenomenon that occurs during a forest fire. In this next clip, however, a clump of fire in someone's hallway flies upwards and downwards, seemingly almost possessed. This I would consider more of a paranormal situation. What do you think? Some archaeologists recently unearthed something truly intriguing, a mummified head of what appears to be an alien-looking creature. This head is elongated and has an almost otherworldly appearance, as if it was severed from its body. For years, there have been countless stories and theories about the existence of aliens. While details about this discovery are still scarce, it raises a tantalizing question. Could this be the proof of alien life we've all been waiting for? This discovery could potentially revolutionize our understanding of extraterrestrial life. Is it a relic from a long-forgotten civilization that had contact with beings from another world, or perhaps a genetic anomaly from an ancient human? Julius isn't sure about this one and wants to look into it. That's a first because he normally just tosses these out. Fingers crossed, let's see what he makes out of this. Now, speaking of serpents, what are we looking at here? Imagine a snake, but not just any snake, a peculiar one with white hair standing straight up on its head. It's almost as though it were a character from the Trolls cartoon. This unusual sight leaves us with so many questions. What kind of snake could this be? Is this some sort of bizarre mutation, or has this snake found a way to visit a salon? In reality, some snakes can indeed have strange and unique features due to genetic anomalies or environmental factors. However, this particular snake looks so outlandish that it seems like it's straight out of a fantasy world. There's a possibility that someone planted the hair on its head, a great possibility at that. But then again, could this be a rare species we've never seen before, or one that nature has decided to give a quirky makeover to? Well, let me hear your thoughts. This clip was captured by a resident of Oklahoma of captured footage on April the 24th, 2023, showing a strange beam of light moving across the sky. A closer look, and you would realize that there appears to be waves of light emanating from the beam, which then spread into the sky. Some who saw this believed that this could be evidence of something on the other side of the firmament. In ancient times, people believed that the earth was at the center of the universe, surrounded by a solid dome called the firmament. They thought that the sun, moon, planets, and stars were all contained within this dome and moved around the earth. This belief was popular among civilizations like the Babylonians, Egyptians, and Greeks, as it helped them explain various natural phenomena such as the daily movements of the stars and the changing seasons. However, we now know that the sun is at the center of our solar system and the planets, including Earth, revolve around it. But some people are questioning this idea, especially after this recent incident. As much as I wanted to go into the firmament theory et al., many individuals in the comments section had one thing to say: SpaceX. So I checked it out, and there was actually a SpaceX launch on the said date, and it happened at night as well. The issue, however, is that the launch happened from Space Launch Complex 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Given the distance between the two states, is it even possible for our informant to have captured the rocket? Are we looking at the same incident, or is this clip an entirely different ballgame altogether? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Now let's talk about Mount Etna, which is located on the east coast of Sicily in Italy and is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. It's also one of the tallest active volcanoes in Europe, reaching approximately 3,330 meters, 10,925 feet in height. The volcanic activity of Etna has been recorded for thousands of years, with eruptions dating as far back as 1500 BC. Etna is well known for its frequent and often dramatic eruptions, which can involve lava flows, explosive eruptions, and the release of ash, gases, and volcanic rock. Despite the potential dangers posed by its eruptions, Etna has also been a subject of fascination and research for scientists and scholars for many years. It's home to various observatories and research centers that monitor its activity and study its geological characteristics. In recent footage taken on April 5, 2024, Mount Etna was spotted emitting smoke rings, which is not unusual for this mountain. It's just nature being dramatic. Maybe this mountain simply wants a little attention. This video is from China, and it's definitely raising eyebrows. In the footage, there are massive glowing lights illuminating the sky from behind the clouds. What's really odd is that the lights don't seem to be part of any cloud formation. They look too solid and focused to be natural. Some viewers are quick to say this could be evidence of a UFO hiding behind the clouds, using them as cover to stay out of sight. It's easy to see why people are drawn to the idea of something extraterrestrial. The way the lights hover and seem to move subtly makes it feel like there's something intentional about them. Could it be some kind of advanced technology at play, or maybe it's just a strange weather phenomenon? Whatever the case, the footage certainly leaves room for imagination.
Anyone know what this creature...
Remember this footage from a few videos ago? Well, we finally figured out what that mysterious creature is. This, my friend, is a bristleworm, specifically called a bearded fireworm. These little guys may look harmless, but don't be fooled, they're not to be touched. Their bristles can easily penetrate the skin, delivering a painful sting that feels like fire, hence the name. The sting can cause severe irritation, swelling, and a burning sensation that could last for hours or even days. These creatures are usually found in warm, shallow waters of the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, often hiding among coral reefs and rocky crevices. What makes them even more dangerous is how they feed. They scavenge on small sea creatures, and their venomous bristles are a defense mechanism against larger predators. Beautiful, but deadly. These worms remind us that nature's most vibrant colors often come with a warning. Would you dare get close to one if you saw it in the wild? Over the years, science and tech have improved and provided us with various inventions to make life easier for us. Take a look at a recent invention called Xenobots, which have been hailed as a significant breakthrough in the field of robotics and bioengineering. These are living robots, and they're the first of their kind in the world. They are made entirely from frog cells. They were developed using a combination of living cells and artificial intelligence algorithms by researchers at the University of Vermont and Tufts University in 2020. They're designed to perform specific tasks, such as transporting medicine within the body or cleaning up environmental pollution. Their creation opens up new possibilities in a variety of fields. It's fascinating to see the potential of these living robots and how they could make a positive impact on the world. There are some who are, however, concerned about their existence. I understand where these individuals may be coming from, but there's also so much good that can come from an invention like this, don't you think? When the dentist tells you to take care of your oral hygiene, it's not just formality. Sometimes it's to prevent things like this. Yes, this is allegedly someone's gums. It looks like gums are coming apart from the teeth. This is called tooth gum inflammation. Teeth gum inflammation, known as gingivitis or periodontitis, can make your gums look swollen and red like they're coming off. It often comes with other problems like bleeding gums, bad breath, and gums moving away from your teeth. Gingivitis usually happens because of not taking good care of your teeth, which lets plaque and bacteria build up along your gum line. If you don't treat gingivitis, it can turn into periodontitis, which is worse and can harm your gums, teeth, and bones. It's important to see a dentist if you noticed your gums are swollen to stop any more problems and keep your mouth healthy. Got a clip that's been described as one to die for. No, seriously. The one who filmed this died shortly after. The clip was recorded by a couple of friends before one was mysteriously killed. They went exploring on a river with cameras strapped to their boat, hoping they would capture something interesting. They even had a spotlight attached to the boat. We're not sure if they'd been told the river had a monster, but that wouldn't matter because a few seconds into the trip, they noticed an unusual shape moving along the banks. Without wasting time, they turned on and pointed their spotlight in the direction of the disturbance, which exposed the creature responsible. It didn't look like anything they had ever seen. It was a large humanoid creature with fur and a head that resembled that of a canine. For a moment, they believed they were hallucinating, but it was not just one person seeing it. No, the whole group could see the creature, which ruled out the possibility of a hallucination. They kept their distance, recorded as much footage as possible, and then went back to show people. They even uploaded it online, hoping to find answers and share the discovery. Many who saw the clip believe it was a dogman. Some thought the whole thing was too convenient to be true and had to be a hoax. That was at least the case until one was brutally murdered. Once the murder occurred, people started to whisper. Though it was never confirmed, the rumor was that the young man who died was attacked and killed by a large and strong beast. This made others believe that Dogman was real and had executed the young man as judgment for disturbing his home and exposing him. While this sounds like a bit of a stretch, it's a narrative many have accepted as truth. What do you think? Take a look at this video. It's of a very old-looking man lying on a bed, seemingly frail and pale, with an almost skeletal appearance. He's stiffly clapping his hands in time with the people around him, who are clapping and singing to celebrate his supposed 117th birthday. His children and loved ones surround him, but there's something unsettling about the scene. As you watch closely, the man's face seems unnaturally rigid. There's no blinking, no facial movement beyond the stiff clapping. Some people believe this man isn't a person at all, but some sort of lifelike robot or animatronic. His skin looks almost waxy, and the lack of any natural human expression has raised suspicions. Could this be some advanced AI creation made to look like an elderly person, or is it just a rare glimpse into the frailty of extreme old age?
Oh, come out so I can see you. Come out. Come on. Come out.
A family living on a tribal reserve in Alberta, Canada, had an unsettling experience one evening. They were inside their home when they began hearing strange sounds coming from outside, so they stepped onto their porch with a camera, trying to locate the source. The noise was a strange gurgling sound that seemed to echo through the trees. What made it even more chilling was the way the sound seemed to taunt them, almost as if it was calling them out to play. Despite their efforts, they couldn't see anything in the dense forest surrounding their home. The family eventually called the police hoping for answers, but even the officers, upon arriving, experienced the same eerie sounds with no sign of a source. On the reserve, it's common to hear stories about mysterious creatures believed to inhabit the woods, passed down through native lore. Could this have been one of those legendary beings?
Come on up. Come on. Hey, just off.
Still on Strange Finds and Captures, this image was shared by a man who captured what appears to be a mysterious creature walking across a clearing in front of a dense forest. The creature is bipedal, covered in brown fur, and has a domed head, traits that match the classic description of Bigfoot. Once this image found its way online, it started a debate. Some thought it was the real deal, while others felt it was a man in a costume. Those who felt it was real referred to the way the entire body is built, especially the thighs. According to them, even a man in a costume couldn't feel those thighs or walk in that stride. Looking at it again, I get where they're coming from, but what do you guys think? Do they have a point, or is this just a really good costume?
Chris Bledsoe's case, he's one who's having interactions with orbs on a continuous basis.
During an interview, Colonel John Alexander talks about Chris Bledsoe, a man who claims to see and communicate with what he believes are otherworldly beings. These beings appear to him in the form of orbs.
Object. I just walked out and asked for it to appear, and there it is. It's going right over the pond, totally silent. Now it's dimming down. Thank you. You can see it getting dimmer.
So are these sightings really true? Are the orbs that are being spotted almost every single day around the world actually beings? It's a fascinating topic that sparks a lot of debate. Some people, like Chris Bledsoe, are convinced that these orbs are intelligent beings from another realm or dimension. They report experiences where the orbs seem to interact with them in purposeful ways, suggesting a form of communication. On the other hand, skeptics argue that these orbs could have some more mundane explanations. They could be natural phenomena like ball lightning or other atmospheric conditions. They might also be an optical illusion, reflections, or even artifacts from camera lenses. What do you think?
Hey, I have a new friend!
Next, we've got a man who decided to go camping deep in the woods. After parking his car, he set up his tent a short distance away, ready to embrace the tranquility of nature. The night passed uneventfully, but the real mystery began at dawn. As he awoke and headed to his car to retrieve some supplies, he was stopped in his tracks by an eerie sight. Standing by his car was a strange figure, clothed entirely in black, with its hand ominously stretched out towards him. Panic surged through him and he bolted, running as fast as his legs could carry him, leaving everything behind. Later, he posted the footage of this unsettling encounter online, and the reactions were explosive. The community was divided. Some viewers were convinced it was a staged event, possibly orchestrated for internet fame. Others speculated it was a prank played by fellow campers. But a significant number of people believed it was something far more sinister, an actual entity haunting that remote piece of land. What do you think? As the world continues to evolve, new technology emerges constantly. We see advancements in phones and other devices almost every day. But have you ever wondered what the future of computers might look like? Take a look at this fascinating concept about quantum computers.
Google just came out with that Willow chip, right? Which is a quantum computer. And they just did this test where they give it this one thing to figure out. And it would have taken our most impressive supercomputer in the world 10 septillion years to figure out this equation. That's one with 25 zeros behind it.
Still incomprehensible.
And it took Google's quantum computer Willow 5 minutes to figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah. There's just these different theories of you're able to receive information from different dimensions.
Oh boy.
But supposedly the inventor of the quantum computer said that he was able to reach these different dimensions and speak to entities.
It's a mind-bending idea. But what do you think? How do you feel about the idea of quantum computers communicating through dimensions? While quantum computers are the next big thing for the world of tech, this clip might just determine what you next bring home with you.
Just these different theories of you're able to receive information from different dimensions.
Oh boy.
But supposedly the inventor of the quantum computer said that he was able to reach these different dimensions and speak to entities.
Someone shared this strange sighting they came across on a hilltop. It was a glowing object sitting up there, and in front of it, a dark figure that seemed to be shifting in and out of sight. Then, things took an even stranger turn. The glowing object suddenly spread what looked like angel-like wings, and in a flash of light, it shot upwards and vanished into thin air. Now, with some are saying it could be an angel, but, well, others believe this might be an interdimensional being crossing through dimensions. The footage itself is undeniably strange and has sparked a lot of debates online. Julius, on the other hand, thinks it's fake, yeah, as usual, but it's his default stance. What do you guys think this is? Now let's dive into this next piece of footage. It looks similar to the first, but on a much larger scale. This video was retrieved from the security camera of a classified institution. Don't look at me like that. That's all the information we received. The footage shows a bizarre creature casually walking through a sliding door and then crawling away. That's, if I'm allowed to describe its movement like that. Have you ever seen Stranger Things, especially the scene where people and rats come together to form a strange blob-like entity? Well, that's exactly what this reminds me of. I'm not sure if this is indeed some sort of giant creature prowling in the night, or if it's just another well-crafted hoax. The sheer size and the way it moves are unsettling, to say the least. Julius believes it's a CGI creation, whilst Aaron thinks it's possibly real. I've chosen to stay on the fence on this because I'm not ready to be dragged into a debate, but what do you guys think? A subscriber sent us some truly intriguing footage. While exploring the woods, they stumbled upon a bizarre sight nestled among the trees, a triangular-shaped structure with a silhouette of something sitting inside. The footage is pretty shaky, making it hard to make out the details. The dim light filtering through the canopy adds an eerie atmosphere, amplifying the sense of mystery. Despite the unclear visuals, the sender is convinced that what they captured was none other than Bigfoot sitting calmly within this strange structure. The structure looks like a makeshift shelter built by an intelligent being, perhaps even Bigfoot itself, or it could be that the silhouette is a trick of the light or a more mundane animal like a bear. No, who knows? But share your thoughts on what you think this could be. Here we have another intriguing piece of security footage, this time captured something unusual flying by. It appeared to be some sort of jellyfish-like object moving across the sky. What makes this especially fascinating is the way it moves. It does not have that fluid, pulsating motion typical of the jellyfish UFOs. This has made many skeptical. Some think it's nothing but CGI, while others think it's a drone delivering a package. What do you think, though? Could this be an extraterrestrial, or is this a case of mistaken identity? A man was home alone with his toddler daughter, capturing her first time standing on her own. He took out his phone to record the moment, but what he captured was something far more unsettling. As he filmed, his attention was drawn to a round ornamental mirror hanging on the wall. In the mirror's reflection, a dark figure could be seen walking past. It was brief but undeniable. Yet when he turned to check, no one else was there. He was completely alone. What makes this even stranger is that there was no shadows in the room to suggest someone was physically present. Paranormal enthusiasts often say that mirrors hold significant spiritual energy, sometimes acting as portals or windows to other realms. Could this mirror have captured an entity passing through the house, or was it something else entirely? Well, some in the paranormal community believe it's the Hat Man. But let's just hear your thoughts. Stepping away from all things demonic, we look to the sky. You see it too, don't you? That cloud definitely looks like a man in motion. Is this just a case of pareidolia, or do we really have something on our hands? See, I'm not saying much about this one. You guys are going to do that in the comments section. This video is rumored to showcase a skinwalker, you know, the creature from Native American folklore known for its ability to shapeshift. In the footage, there's something strange riding a horse along the seashore. The creature looks off, almost unnatural as it gallops by. Its appearance seems distorted, and the way it moves feels unsettling, like something isn't quite right. Now, some people are claiming this could be edited footage, which would explain why it looked so strange and unreal, but then again, there's always the possibility that it could be something unexplained. What do you think? When I first saw this, the best word to describe what I felt was shocked. I wonder what happened to this creature. I mean, I knew it wasn't possible, but a part of me was asking if a mad scientist had put two dogs together. I mean, if that's the case, it wasn't a very good job, was it? But then Aaron pointed out that it was an illusion. I expected him to talk of demon possession, but he just turned my device to the side, and that made things clear. It was just a dog lying down. Crazy, huh? Perspective changes so much, and without the right perspective, you could see something and interpret it to be something else. It makes me wonder how much of the paranormal we have wrongly interpreted as normal and vice versa. I've seen my fair share of wild, innovative scientific creations designed to make life easier for us humans, but sometimes we should draw the line somewhere. Did you know that Japan has now approved human-animal hybrid experiments? Yeah, you heard that right. The goal is to create these hybrids to harvest organs for human transplants. On the surface, it sounds like a groundbreaking step for medical science, but let's think about this for a moment. What if you hailed an Uber and your driver turned out to have a goat's head? Or what if your teacher had snake-like features? Sure, the hybrids may not look that way, but just the thought of blending human and animal DNA is enough to give anyone pause. We're teetering on the edge of a sci-fi reality, and maybe, just maybe, we've already stepped into it. If this ever becomes a thing, I know I'm becoming Spider-Man. Wait, did I just say that out loud? You know what? Let's move on to the next. The internet is filled with bizarre and unsettling content, much of which remains unexplained. Take this video, for example. It's downright creepy. In the footage, you see a man sitting in a dimly lit room, eating hastily from a bowl with a large cooking ladle. As you focus on him, someone dressed in a dark robe with a cotton mask over their head appears from behind. This person stands next to the man, gently patting him on the back as he continues to eat. What's even more disturbing is the man seems to be crying while eating. On the table in front of him, the contents of the bowl have spilled, giving the whole scene an eerie, chaotic vibe. As the video continues, another figure dressed identically to the first joins in, also patting the man's back in an almost ritualistic manner. Rumors circulating online suggest that this man might be forced into cannibalism. Some even speculate that he could be eating members of his own family. However, there's no confirmation of this, as the whole video remains a mystery. The whole scene is unsettling, from the cryptic behavior of the robed figures to the man's distressed demeanor. What do you think is happening here? Could this be some dark ritual, or is it all just a staged, eerie performance? While you share your thoughts on that, you might want to take a look at this. What comes to mind when you see this? The individual who uploaded this apparently saw this individual or being at a car park while waiting and concluded it was not human. According to the uploader, the image doesn't do him justice. There was an apparent ominous feeling coming from the vehicle the person was in. That, coupled with the scary face, made the uploader conclude that the man might in fact be a demon. Not sure how realistic that is, but many in the paranormal shared similar experiences and stated they believed what the uploader was saying. You've seen the image as well. What do you also think? While you wrap your head around that, let's take a short cruise to the Santa Cruz boardwalk where an apparition or ghost has made an appearance. The clip you're watching was recorded by a young lady known as Jaylene Rich and her friends. This was recorded after an amusement park had closed and no one was expecting to be present. But pay attention to the clip. As the ride descends, there's someone. A hooded someone in the ride. That someone or something doesn't stay for long, though. It disappears or vanishes as the ride descends. Jaylene noticed the being, which is why she started filming. However, recording a highly zoomed-in video at night typically affects the quality of the clip, as we can all see. Despite the quality, many in the paranormal community believe this is the real deal. Some stated that they could see the figure and felt it might be death. Others also stated it could be for the souls of people who have died either having fun or working in the area. This may sound like a hard pill to swallow if you're new here, but we've actually seen and heard worse. In fact, some who have worked at the Santa Cruz boardwalk at some point in their lives also mentioned this strange thing used to happen there at night. There are many opinions coming from all sorts of people, and you've seen the clip, so what do you think? Some cave explorers were out in the wilderness when they stumbled upon an unmarked cave. As they were about to enter, strange noises started echoing from inside. They decided to wait and see what might emerge, and what came crawling out left them in absolute shock. It was a creature moving low to the ground, crawling on its hands. The cave was pitch dark, so only parts of it were visible, the head and arms it used to drag itself forward. The explorer managed to snap this picture in their disbelief. The creature had pitch black eyes and brown, extremely dry-looking skin. Its head was particularly large, with an elongated occiput, giving it a shape eerily similar to an octopus, though no tentacles were visible. What could this be? A cave-dwelling cryptid, or perhaps something else entirely? Sewer pipes run deep underground, carrying everything from human waste and muddy water to industrial runoff laden with chemicals. It's a toxic cocktail down there. So what happens to any creatures that might live in such an environment like frogs? Do the chemicals affect them? This question became all the more pressing after a recent chilling discovery. A person peering through a sewer opening captured footage of an enormous creature. It was a frog, but it was not frog-sized. No, it was more human-sized and lurking in the darkness. How is this possible? Could it have mutated due to the chemical-laden environment, or are we looking at a new species of frog? While standing on a cliff and gazing down at the ocean below, someone came across a fascinating sight. In the water, a large fish with its gills prominently displayed on both sides of its body was swimming. This fish looked enormous and bore a striking resemblance to a shark. It moved menacingly, almost as if it was waiting for someone to jump into the water. As it turns out, this fish is indeed a shark, specifically a basking shark. The basking shark is the second largest shark species right after the whale shark. Despite its intimidating size and appearance, this giant is not deadly. Basking sharks feed on plankton, constantly swimming with their mouths wide open and their gills stretched wide to trap their tiny prey. Though they pose no direct threat to humans, their rough skin can cause scratches if someone brushes against them. Even with this knowledge, the sight of such a massive shark gliding through the water would likely deter many people from venturing anywhere near it. Would you dare to get close to a basking shark?
ass mosquitoes here!
Now let's take a look at another strange footage that
Big ass mosquito!
people could be very creepy. Take a look at this footage. A man from Tampa shared this video online. Now, this was intentionally recorded by a woman as she walked into her kitchen, and for a brief second, a camera captured what appeared to be a humanoid figure standing by the counter. Stepping away from Hollywood, there's a story that will make you think twice before answering a voice behind your door. A man shared footage of an unsettling experience that happened inside his own home. In the middle of the night, he was woken by a small voice outside his bedroom. It sounded like his daughter, calling and pleading for him to open the door because she was scared. On the surface, well, it should have been normal, but it was not. Early that day, the older children had gone to visit their grandmother. There was no way a child could have been outside at that hour, yet the voice continued, clear, insistent, and disturbingly real. The father waited for a moment before cautiously getting out of bed to check the house. When he reached the kitchen, a sudden thump echoed behind him, followed by another strange, unidentifiable voice. He looked around, but there was no one there. For those familiar with paranormal phenomena, this is the kind of event often linked to what is called a mimic. These entities imitate the voices of children, friends, and family to manipulate, confuse, or frighten people. Why they do it is not always clear. Sometimes it's to lure someone out of a safe space. Sometimes it's simply to terrify. What would you do if a voice you trusted came calling in the middle of the night? Would you investigate or stay hidden? And if it really was a mimic, how do you confront something that can sound exactly like your own child?
Sí.
Tranquila, mami, tranquila, no pasa nada.
Pero es que es mi voz.
Tranquila, tranquila, no es nada. No tengan miedo porque si no eso se alimenta de nosotros, ¿eh? No tengan miedo.
Papá, ¿pero quién es?
Tranquilos, tranquila, mami, tranquila, ven. No pasa nada.
Sí, tranquilos, sí.
Escucha, o sea.
No manches, tranquilos.
No, mami, no pasa nada, tranquila.
No manches, güey.
Espérense aquí, tranquilos.
With that, we end today's episode. Thank you very much for staying with us. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now, you could do us all a bit of favor now. If you got any videos, you got any footage, I don't give a damn if it's from your iPhone, your Android, your camera, whatever the hell it happens to be. If you've seen anything that you think is even slightly weird, whether it's nature, paranormal, just your everyday life, send it to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com, and we will stick it on this channel. And on top of that, we'll mention your name. Yeah. But, you know, only if you want to. We could make up a pseudonym or anything you want. It doesn't matter. Anyway, with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us, and I'll see you in the next one.